Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Catastrophic damage done in seconds. Jurors saw pictures and heard 911 calls today from that 2022 crash that killed a 24-year-old woman.
Alexander Castro is charged with manslaughter in this case. Yesterday, jurors saw video of him blaming the victim. Our Daniela Ibarra was in the courtroom today as witnesses told the jury what they saw that night.
Prosecutors say this mangled mess of metal is the blue Volkswagen that 24-year-old Alexandra Shea West Siebert was in on July 22, 2022. And this is the black truck that police say Alexandra Castro was driving that hit and killed her.
If you didn't see the vehicle's disheveled, you think it'd be just like a fender bender.
Witnesses say they were stuck in traffic that night heading north on 281 near TPC Parkway. Another crash held them up in standstill traffic.
We saw the truck speed past us and then hit the car stalled in traffic.
I looked in my mirror and I seen him coming this way on my left side, and that's when he came to complete stop.
San Antonio police say Castro was driving over 90 miles an hour after buying alcohol at several bars. But his attorney blames that initial wreck for this crash.
He just slammed into a bunch of cars.
Jurors also heard one of the 911 calls made by a witness.
I just know that when he ran into the cars just all turned.
If he's found guilty, Castro could face up to 20 years in prison. Testimony is set to continue tomorrow, and the jury could begin deliberating then. At the Cadena Reese Justice Center, Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
He was found dead with 3 gunshot wounds, and tonight San Antonio police are still looking for the suspect involved. That shooting happened about 3 this morning on Carranza Street near Quintana Road. It's on the southwest side. Officers say they found a man in his late teens, early 20s with those 3 wounds. The victim taken to the hospital where he died. SAPD says right now there are no leads on a suspect.
And San Antonio police also looking for a person who shot at an apartment complex. According to officers, a man parked his Jeep in a parking lot on the Howard W. Peak Greenway Trail area. Police say the man headed for those trails and at some point fired a gun at an apartment complex on UTSA Boulevard near Hausman Road. 2 buildings and a car were hit, but no one was hurt. So far, no arrests have been made.
They were waiting for a ride. San Antonio police also investigating after a car hit 2 people waiting at a bus stop. That crash happened around noon on east-south cross just west of South WW White Road. Officers say the driver lost control, crashed into the bus stop, then hit a utility pole. Look at the damage he did to the stop itself. The 2 people at the bus stop taken to the hospital. Police believe one of them got pinned under that bus stop bench. The driver treated by paramedics right now. It's still unclear what caused that driver to lose control.
The San Antonio Fire Department is trying to figure out what caused a fire that injured a man today. These photos were shared with us from a neighbor who saw that fire burning. It happened on Brook Street, just south of I-35 on the east side. The neighbor tells us that he heard a loud boom about 8 o'clock this morning. He says when he walked outside, he saw the house was on fire. Firefighters say the husband and wife who lived there were inside at the time. The husband had to be taken to a hospital for minor burns. He is expected to be okay. Still no word, though, on what caused this fire.
Keeping schools safe. In about 2 weeks, Northeast ISD will start classes. Today, district officials announced a new emergency response team to help with school safety. According to the school district, the 8-person team trained to handle emergency situations. We're told the people on the team have military or SWAT backgrounds. Superintendent Sean Micah says the district wants to do its best when it comes to preventing school violence and is committed to school security.
The 3 Americans rescued in a prisoner swap with Russia will come to San Antonio. Paul Whelan, Evan Gerskovich, and now Sue Kermasheva were freed in the largest prisoner swap since the Cold War. They will come to Brooke Army Medical Center here in San Antonio to be evaluated for any medical care they might need. President Biden spoke at the White House this morning following that swap.
Multiple countries helped get this done. They joined the difficult, complex negotiations at my request. So for anyone who questions whether allies matter, they do. They matter.
The State Department has said that all of the U.S. prisoners were wrongfully detained.
A celebration of life held for the late U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee in Houston today. More than 24 leaders and advocates from politics to religion spoke at today's service, including Vice President Kamala Harris. who eulogized Representative Lee. Harris described her as a force of nature and an expert in the legislative process. Lee died at the age of 74 after being treated for pancreatic cancer.
The San Antonio City Council will vote next week on what proposed changes that voters will get to decide on this fall. Their city charter amendments. And one councilwoman today pushed to make some last-minute additions. Councilwoman Melissa Cabello-Haverda, who said that she plans to run for mayor, proposed 2 new amendments. One, to add elected representatives to the CPS Energy and SAWS boards, and 2, to give the city council, instead of the city manager, the power to hire the city attorney or to allow the council to hire a second attorney.
Throughout this process, we've been focusing on propositions that directly impact City Hall operations and our government officials. While these are important changes to the city charter, we're missing opportunities to propose amendments that directly affect our residents' daily lives. We need propositions that empower the people we serve, not just the way we serve them.
Mayor Ron Nierenberg today, though, tried to clamp down on discussion of any additional amendments, saying it was not, quote, open season on the city charter. And there were few comments in support of the councilwoman's ideas.
Let's go outside right now. And yes, even though August just started, the weather is in mid-August form.
Absolutely, yeah. It is very somewhat seasonable for this time of year, but we know that that just means hot, right? 95 degrees right now here in the Alamo City. Factor in the humidity, though, and it feels like 100 degrees. The actual air temperature of 102 out west in Del Rio, 92 up I-10 in Kerrville. Still have a little bit of a haze in the sky from that plume of Saharan dust that we've been talking about over the past several days, but that is going to continue to work out of our area over the next 24 hours. If you're stepping out for any evening plans this Thursday, still going to be hot over the next couple of hours. Those thermometers nearing 90 degrees by 9 p.m., then transitioning to the 80s later on tonight under mostly clear skies. Looking ahead to Friday, less hazy but still hot and humid. This weekend, highs nearing 100 degrees here in San Antonio, feeling even hotter because of that moisture in place. Any rain chances in the forecast? Just an isolated chance, especially late on Sunday. So we're going to talk about those details coming up in a little bit. Plus, latest drought monitor came out this morning. Did we see any improvements following late July rain? We'll get to those details as well.
That'll be interesting to see. Thank you, Mia. All right, let's go check out traffic right now. And we're going to go to 281 at the Quarry. And what we're looking at is southbound on US 281. And it usually backs up. Not quite this far, though, but you can see things very slow going on US 281. Northbound, not so bad as you head towards the airport in 410, but it's the southbound lanes that are really backing up at this hour.
A lot of memories in this room and a lot of memories down on base, too.
For nearly 4 decades, they've been known for their Southern-style cooking. Inside the walls at Acadiana Cafe are so many memories and some ongoing laughter.
Yeah, if you've ever been, this room might look familiar. It's taken on a life of its own. Patty Santos tells us the story of the military room and the names etched on its walls.
I don't know who was the first newly minted air person to do this, but they started.
David Saylor points to the names carved and some sharpied on the walls of the military party room at Acadiana Cafe in the West Side.
Oh, this is her right here. This is her right here. She's actually my second cousin, and she graduated from the squadron.
They are the names of basic trainees from 4 different squadrons who stopped to eat at his restaurant before heading out.
We opened in December of 1986. Patty, I'm not sure how this became the military room, but it is. The party room at Acadiana is the Air Force/military room.
It's taken a life of its own.
One of our regulars donated this.
Partly thanks to customers, like the one who dedicated an old panoramic photo of Randolph Air Force Base to moments in history.
Here's original newspaper clippings of Hawaii being bombed by Japanese planes. This Marine, that's his pictures here. He used to work here at Acadiana.
Last week, Saylor announced the sale of his Cajun-style restaurant building. It will reopen under new management as a Mexican restaurant. Naturally, I had to ask, what happens with his room?
The people that bought the building, they're dedicated to preserving all of this and even expanding on it.
Oh, wow. I was worried about that.
It's going to be maintained as it is, and it's going to be even expanded on.
All right, awesome. That's good news. I'm glad. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first at KSAT 12, on site at Acadiana Cafe.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
I think he's got a future in TV if the restaurant thing. Saylor also says he is so ingrained with serving the military. He's an honorary commander of the 433rd Airlift Wing. Acadiana Cafe closing its doors on August 29th. They will be missed.
I want to make it out there before that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some news you want to pay attention to. The San Antonio Solid Waste Management Department is no longer accepting single-use plastic bags in the blue recycling bins, even if they're bundled up together. The city says the bags get all tangled with other trash, and that makes them difficult to recycle. The bags can also stick to sorting equipment, and it causes problems with the machines. This new rule starts today.
Still ahead on the news at 6, the July rains, not just good for our lakes and rivers, it's also helped out local farmers. After the break, hear from a hay farmer about how the recent rainfall benefited his bales.
But first, let's take another look outside with live cam. The Saharan dust starting to ease up a bit. The heat, though, that's moving in. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery has a look at the weekend temperatures coming up.
Dry conditions even after days of rain. We're standing where Medina Lake should be. Coming up tonight in the Night Beat, how low water levels are impacting life out here and how businesses are trying to adapt.
An active weather pattern in late July brought needed rain to South Texas. That's good news for our lakes, rivers, droughts, and a welcome change for the agricultural industry.
I bet so. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery visited a local hay farm to see how they're doing following this summertime rain.
It helps. It helps everything.
Josh Smith owns Smith & Sons Hay Farm in western Guadalupe County. Since taking over the family business, he's seen the toll this prolonged drought has taken on his hay pastures and harvest.
How have the number of cuts that you can make per year varied over the past few years because of the drought?
Let's say in 2021, when I took over, I got 5 cuttings that year in the wet year, on every field. In the past 2 years with the drought, I've gotten, if I'm lucky, 2 cuttings.
Coastal grasses and field grasses require a lot of rain to reach a density thick enough to cut and bale. But in locations where decent rain has recently fallen, some pastures have started to trend in the right direction.
3 weeks ago, the bulk of the grass in this pasture was this height, but thanks to recent rain, you can see how it started to grow and thicken up just a little bit more.
While more rain is still needed to get pastures back to their maximum potential, a healthier hay crop is also good for cattle. Agricultural economists say that this prolonged drought forced several Texas ranchers to start feeding hay to their animals as early as last summer, instead of holding off until the winter.
That adds to costs. This drought has also led us to having fewer cows in Texas and in the U.S. as well, simply because without rain, without the grass, you can't have as many animals.
With the rain that we have seen across South Texas, Anderson believes that it could provide a good foundation for additional grasses to grow going forward.
It sort of refuels the next cutting of hay production. And so it's really going to boost supplies. It should lead to some lower prices as well.
A hope that Smith also shares for his farm and hay industry locally.
We got other grasses that will grow, and it will give us a chance to have a cutting here in the fall. And it makes enough hay that we're not so far behind.
And a lot of times I think we forget that. We think the rain is great for temperatures, keeps them down, keeps our yards green, but it's livelihoods that are connected to this too.
Well, and there's been times where it's been so bad that we've had to get hay brought in from other parts of the country. So it's good to see that he has those big round bales behind him there as you're talking to him, Mia.
And the fact that he could get another cutting in the fall. Again, it just helps kind of make up some of that deficit that I know a lot of local farmers have seen over the past several years just because of this prolonged drought. And speaking of the drought, it's Thursday, and we know that every Thursday morning we get a new update in when it comes specifically to the drought monitor. I want to start with last week's drought monitor because we already did see some improvements following the late July active weather pattern, specifically when it comes to a pocket of red, that's extreme drought that was erased from our far western counties near Del Rio and near Brackettville. I'm going to fade on this week's drought monitor, and you can see that, yes, we are still dealing with some of that drought along and west of the I-35 corridor, but some of that extreme drought was erased from the central portions of Kendall County, and we also did see a slight break in some of that severe drought near Uvalde, right along the Uvalde-Kinney County line. So we still have some work to do, but it's nice to see this trend in the right direction, especially considering late July, we don't really expect to see rainfall totals like this. Take a look at how July 2024 measured up here in San Antonio. Overall, 4.25 inches of rain. The average is 2.41, so we had a rainfall surplus. That also does help as we look ahead to the month of August, which climatologically speaking is one of our drier months throughout the year. The average amount of rainfall, 2.15, and you can see our temperatures as well. The average high for today, 97. So this is also typically the hottest part of the year, an average low around 75. But by the end of the month, that average high starts to drop by a few degrees, closer to 94, and the average low is near 73. Looking ahead, though, at least over the next several days, yes, it is going to be very seasonable and hot here in South Central Texas, very much what you would expect for this time of year. Plenty of sunshine out there right now, 95 degrees here in San Antonio. It is a little breezy. We've seen some gusts upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour, generally out of the east-southeast. You can see a slight haze out there on the horizon, still from some leftover Saharan dust, but that's going to continue to work out of our area over the next 24 hours. So air quality today in the moderate category, a lot better than what we were dealing with 24 hours ago, and that's expected to continue all the way into the upcoming weekend. It is possible, though, on Saturday we see a little bit more of that dust try to work back in from the north, but overall light concentrations are expected even into early next week. So now the focus turns to the heat. Speaking of, here's a look at your Friday. We're going to start off muggy, mid to upper 70s. Because of that moisture in place, the cloud cover builds back in as well. Morning cloud cover should break up, though. By lunchtime, we'll see plenty of sunshine, a temperature around 90 degrees at noon, and then a high temperature climbing into the upper 90s, right around 98 here in San Antonio. Check out your feels like temperatures, though, closer to 105 to 106 when you do factor in that humidity. Most of us will reach the upper 90s, I think, west of the I-35 corridor for places like Carrizo Springs, Uvalde, Del Rio, Eagle Pass. Triple digits will likely be a common theme, and then with that moisture in place, again, those feels like temperatures even hotter by this time tomorrow. So if you are planning on being out in the heat for extended periods of time, make sure that you are taking breaks as well as staying hydrated. Looking ahead to the weekend, more of the same, highs near 100 degrees, feeling even hotter. We're going to introduce a 10% chance for a stray shower or storm late Saturday, and then a slightly better potential into Sunday, about a 20 to 30% chance there as well. High pressure is going to work farther up to our northwest, loosening its grip ever so slightly on our weather pattern here at home, and could make just enough room for a weak frontal boundary to work into central and north Texas. This, combined with the humidity in the works as well, the perfect recipe for a few showers and storms to get up and running, especially late Sunday. So again, we're going to call it about a 10 to 20% chance. Unfortunately, that's it. Better chances across the hill country. We'll see if we can find maybe a weakening shower or storm make its way near San Antonio. I think the southern reaches of our area, unfortunately, are going to miss out with this round. And then after that, more typical August weather. Highs near 100 degrees each afternoon next week with more sunshine.
Yeah, that's why we got to be thankful for all that July rain.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we have some football on KSAT tonight.
Yeah.
You know that? Plus,
yeah.
we're going to talk about a kid that's making the move from Austin to Dallas.
Yeah, DeMarvion Overshone. So he missed all of last season with an ACL rep. But this young man, always smiling, just a pleasant person to be around. He's feeling really good this season because he's about to play for the Dallas Cowboys. So linebacker DeMarvion Overshone's coming back. Micah Parsons is raving about the young man. And the Houston Texans are ready to play some football tonight. Their rookies in particular coming up.
What do I want to show everybody? Shoot, go out there and play fast, have fun, do what I do best.
Houston Texans rookie Caden Bullock is ready to put on a show tonight in Big Board Sports. Out in Oxnard, California this morning, the Dallas Cowboys held a mock game, no pads needed. They went through game situations at a slower pace as the install continues. Now, linebacker DeMarvion Overshown is happy and feeling good after missing last season with a torn ACL. Micah Parsons says number 13 is looking good at training camp.
Overshown has been unbelievable. I mean, I think he's more confident and stronger than what he was before he tore his ACL. He's coming downhill, he's being aggressive, he understands his reads. You could just see the confidence in him growing. He's getting more reps with the ones. They're ready to get him out there. I think he's going to have an unbelievable year for us.
Staying with linebackers, number 50 Eric Kendricks is entering his 10th NFL season and his first one with the Cowboys. Last season he played for the Chargers and before that the Vikings. Mary Rominger has more from Oxnard.
Well, we saw the San Antonio Spurs bring in a veteran presence this offseason to help bolster their young roster. The Dallas Cowboys did something similar in signing on veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks in free agency. Kendricks lived and breathed Mike Zimmer's defensive scheme for 8 seasons in Minnesota, and now he's on a 1-year deal, expected to be a starter and help teach Zimmer's defensive system.
To be honest, I don't think it's a better guy to come in and be able to lead a young linebacker core like him, especially being in this defense for a long time, knowing the ins and outs. Any questions we got, he got the answer. We don't have to, call coach up every time. EK got the answer. So being out there on the field with him, it's like, okay, he going to put me in a position to make plays, and now just feeding off that energy and running around and playing football.
He knows the system inside and out, but he's super professional. He's the same guy every day. Very diligent, very detailed, great communicator. Just have coached a lot of games against him. Extremely instinctive. Has a clear understanding of what the offense is trying to do. You don't get things by him 2 times in a row. And he's a guy that commands a lot of respect already in the defensive room. So thankful he's here.
No, that's high praise all around for the former All-Pro talent. We've heard Zimmer is a quiet guy, so Kendricks being an extension of Zimmer's voice is key for the Dallas Cowboys. From Oxnard, California, Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports. Larry, back to you.
Thanks, Mary. The Texans and Bears will play under the bright lights of national TV tonight when they face off in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Following the contest, the Texans will stay in the Cleveland area to practice before heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers in preseason game number 2. As for tonight, the rookies are ready to go.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I dreamed about this day. This day is coming up, and now Thursday is the first game for the preseason. Get to go out there in front of everybody. Know everybody's going to be watching. Football's back, so I can't wait.
Football is back. You can watch the Bears and Packers tonight at 7 here on KSAT 12.
And he's not wrong. I will be watching. I don't really care who's playing. It's
Right.
football. It's the first game. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be watching.
Me too.
I hear that at my house, too. Doc Talk is coming up next, and this week it's all about back to school. We'll be right back.
There are your questions, and we take them right to local doctors. Dr. Jenny Haug is a pediatric emergency medicine physician with Christus Children. She joins us now live in studio.
Hello.
How are you?
Great. Thanks
All right.
for having me.
Thank you. And we're going to talk about some things that aren't usually talked about necessarily on TV.
Yeah, it's all about back to school, and you said it best during the commercial break. This topic is one everybody deals with, not enough people talk about.
Yes.
Lice. So the first question is, what do you do about head lice?
The dreaded head lice. So I have to tell you that it's super common. We don't necessarily talk about it with our friends, but lots and lots of kids suffer from lice. And usually during the school year, when kids are together in their classrooms, they bring their own special cooties together.
Yeah.
And one of them could be lice. So girls in particular, they like to talk to each other and they get head to head. And so that's one of the ways that you usually get lice. And then they bring it home and share it with all their siblings and their parents and whoever else is in the household. So how you deal with it. So there's a lot of different options. I will say I would love to report that mayonnaise and Vaseline and olive oil, coconut oil, all these things that you put it on the head and you suffocate the lice work, but they really don't. So the first thing is there are over-the-counter medications. One of them is permethrin. It's basically it's a cream that you'll put on the hair. You leave it in place. And then you do have to nitpick. So you do have to break out the comb. Yeah, when their hair is wet. And you do need to do that about every 2 to 3 days, and you should do it for 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a lot of hard work, and that's what's hard about it. You take all of your sheets, all of the towels, you need to wash them in the hottest water possible. You got to take things that you can't wash, put them in plastic bags, and if you can, put them in a garage or somewhere outside of the house. And you may, most of the time, we're going to recommend that you repeat that cream in about 7 days. So it's a lot of work. That's why it's hard. But it's very common, and expect that at some point in time, one of your kids is going to get it.
If they're going to school, they're getting it.
If they're going to school, yeah, unfortunately, I know, makes you itch.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. They don't jump. I mean, they don't jump or fly, so these are things that stay on the hair, which is why the way you get it is if you sit next to somebody, and little girls are going to talk and play together. And
you can't get rid of it. That's the good.
You absolutely can't get rid of it. It's just hard work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Time.
Next question is about allergies. It says, my youngest has allergies. They are always congested and lose focus during, they always lose focus during school because of allergies. How do I help them combat it besides medication?
So this one, it's somewhat hard. Unfortunately, medication is going to be part of that. But the good news is the first line medications for treating allergies in adults, in children, is still going to be a nasal spray. So we've got options when it comes to nasal sprays, and a lot of them are actually over the counter. If they're less than 2 years of age, you need to talk to your pediatrician about the medication you're giving. If they're greater than 2 years, you can use over-the-counter nasal sprays. If they're younger, cromolyn is an option, fluticasone, mometasone, those are options. They're over-the-counter and they're safe, and they don't cause drowsiness. The other thing, if you're not wanting to use any medications at all, is simply avoidance of triggers. Now, if your child is allergic to rabbits, or that might be easy because you just don't go around rabbits, but if they're allergic to something that is in the air, the dust, I mean, what's going on right now? So you may need to do that. Oral options, obviously, there's things such as cetirizine, there is loratadine, and these are non-drowsy options. And so even for my own children, that's what I use for my kids. We do a nasal spray and we do an oral we do cetirizine. That's our choice in our family. So it is possible to avoid triggers, but I think realistically, unless your child has a very specific allergy, you're gonna need to talk to your pediatrician.
Yeah, they're non-drowsy, they're safe,
yes,
there's things out there.
Yes, and you don't want your kid to be miserable.
No.
They need to be happy and healthy at school and learning.
For sure. Okay, our next question is from Katie. She asks, is it safe for my child to play on the playground with all the potential germs and bacteria on the equipment?
Great question. So as I mentioned earlier, each kid brings their own brand of cooties to school, and they share those, and they do share them on playground equipment. My concern about playground equipment is not necessarily the germs that are on them, but more them falling or unsafe equipment. I'll tell you, I can count probably almost every single shift I work in the ER, I see a kid who comes in with some kind of broken bone, and I would say at least 50% of the time it's a fall off the monkey bars. So I would say that yes, they're probably going to pick up germs when they're on the playground, but the reality is they're picking them up in the classroom, they're picking them up in the cafeteria, and you really do, kids need to play. A lot of the things that kids are doing at school, yes, they're learning, yes, it's academics, but they're learning the social side of things. They're learning about relationships. They're learning so many important lessons, including those lessons on the playground, and they need the exercise. They need to run and play and sweat and have fun, keep them active, keep them healthy. So I think, it's a thing where you're looking at the benefits versus the risks, and I definitely think playing on the playground is worth the risk of possibly picking up a cold or other viruses.
As I cough.
Yes.
You're not going to be able to avoid germs, though. That's the thing.
You're going to do your best, and you need to teach your kids to wash their hands, help them to understand, how germs are transferred. A kid has some kind of illness, they touch something, other kid comes along, touches that, touches their face.
Yep.
That's how you pick it up. But with children, their job is to get sick. That's our job as kids, is to get sick. That's how our immune system works. Sorry, I'm touching my mic, but they have to learn, the immune system has to learn how to fight the different viruses. So they have to be exposed to them.
If that's kids' jobs, my kids are very good at what
Yeah, they're good at it, right? All right,
Mine
last question I want to make sure we get to, because
Okay.
so many people have bedtime questions. What's the best way to get kids moving towards a more regular bedtime as it gets closer to the start of school?
So first thing is even recognizing that you need to do that. I think some parents like to go straight up till the
The night before?
The night before. You know, I have teenagers and I have school-age children, and I know teenagers will stay up till 4 in the morning if given the opportunity. So I think the first step is recognizing that you do need to do that. And I think a week is probably okay, but I think 2 weeks prior to the start of school would be more ideal. And starting to work towards that bedtime. And kids who don't sleep well do not do well in school. Again, you know, they're not learning, they're not doing the things that they need to do to advance to the next level. And you're not giving them their best possible shot at success if you don't start earlier and helping them with an earlier bedtime. So I think it depends a little bit on your family, and it depends a little bit on the kid. If they're a teenager, you know, I think it's okay to kind of negotiate on how you're going to do that. And if they have some kind of say in it or buy-in in it, in the plan of how they're going to do that, they usually have more interest in following that plan. But also removing any kind of screen devices way before bedtime, because that's stimulating. Getting your lights down, quiet time, having just kind of that general relaxing towards bedtime is really important. Start unwinding and turning the brains off.
Yeah, that's good for all of us.
All of us, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Howe, we appreciate you being
Yeah,
here.
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's
Thanks,
great
guys.
to see you. All right, we have it put up the QR code right now. If you have a question you want us to take to our docs, let us know. QR code is at Doc Talk, Thursdays at 6:30.
We'll be right back. Have you been keeping up with the Olympics? Take a look at the medal count here. The U.S. leads with 37 medals total, but China, they have the most golds with 11 so far.
Yeah. USA. All right, one gold that's got everyone talking, Simone Biles, leading the U.S. women's gymnastics team to a gold medal in the team final. It sparked a lot of excitement among gymnasts.
As Stephanie Cerna shows us here in San Antonio, for some local athletes, watching women compete is inspiring.
Oh, yeah. My favorite gymnast is probably Suni Soli. And Simone Biles.
No matter who's your favorite gymnast on the U.S. women's gymnastics team, the entire team now winning gold and winning hearts, including the hearts of local athletes.
What does it mean to you to see, some of these, very, very talented gymnasts like who are competing in Paris?
It encourages me to be like them one day, so I can watch them and learn stuff from them, so I can get to their place one day.
Push down on the bar. It's preseason for competitors at the Southern Gymnastics Club in San Antonio. However, these young athletes were able to take a break from training to watch the best of the best in gymnastics.
What do you see when you see them watching what's on the screen here, like for example today?
Oh, they just fall in love with the sport a little bit more. They get to be a part of something bigger than themselves, which is what team sports is all about. And so watching Simone and Jordan and Jade accomplish all their goals really makes us feel a part of it.
What's happening at the Paris Olympics, hitting close to home here in San Antonio. All the local gymnasts have their eyes on the USA women's gymnastics team, and especially Simone Biles as she makes her comeback.
Some of the girls have gone through things, and so I can kind of see how that didn't stop them from making them Olympics. So it kind of helps me.
And gymnastics is also a sport that co-owner of Southern Gymnastics Club, Jeremy Veit, believes should be top of mind all the time, not just during the Olympics.
Sports don't have to be about gold medals. They don't have to be about the Olympics. They don't have to be about college scholarships. Sports are about developing time management, discipline, work ethic, learning how to respond when you get knocked down, learning how to fight through adversity.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Like what he said there, it's not all about winning. It's not all about medals. You learn so much from sports.
Absolutely.
A lot of life lessons, and all the gymnasts are incredible. But also Katie Ledecky in that 1500 meter swim.
I know.
My mind was blown.
Yeah.
Here.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Something else that's incredible, the fact that we were not near our record high for today. It was still hot and very seasonable for this first day of August. 96 over at San Antonio International. The record for today, 103, set back in 2013. We are going to be nearing the triple digits out there on the thermometer into the upcoming weekend. We'll have a look at that, plus what's brewing out there in the tropics after the break.
We didn't hit 100 today, but it sounds like, Mia, that's coming.
It is. It's right around the corner. I think especially by Saturday. I mean, we're going to be pretty close tomorrow. That's just...
It is August.
It is August.
You know, I
and we
mean,
were really spoiled the past couple of weeks. So, you know, we got to pay our dues a little bit. At some
we all
point
knew
in
this
the
was
summer,
coming.
Right? We all knew it was
sooner or
coming.
later.
And something else that we also monitor very closely this time of year, the tropics. Take a look at the timeline. So the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season officially running from June 1st through November 30th. What we know as the climatological peak of hurricane season, September 10th, you can see kind of the peak of the mountain on that graph there. We're getting closer and closer to that time frame. And yes, there is a disturbance out there in the Atlantic basin, specifically this swirl of clouds that you see pushing across the Caribbean right now near the Dominican Republic that has the chance of developing into at least a tropical depression over the next 7 days. The National Hurricane Center highlighting the eastern Gulf of Mexico in red, giving it that 70% chance, a likelihood that this likely will develop into a tropical system. I do not see this impacting Texas. This looks to be more of an eastern Gulf of Mexico impact, but still for areas near Florida, even the Gulf coastline near Alabama and Mississippi, those folks need to be watching very carefully to see how this system evolves over the next week or so. By the way, the next name on the official list for this season will be Debbie. So we'll also continue to keep you posted if you have friends and family out that way as well throughout the upcoming weekend and even into early next week. For us here at home, the biggest thing that we'll be monitoring is the heat. We're in the mid to upper 90s right now. 95 out at Stinson. It's 92 in Canyon Lake. 91 the current temperature over there in Kerrville. If you're stepping out for any evening plans, still going to be pretty hot over the next couple of hours with temperatures starting to fall into the 80s after the sun goes down. Looking ahead to your Friday, wrapping up the work week on another toasty note. 77 degrees at 7 a.m. with mostly cloudy skies in place. I think we'll see plenty of sunshine take over by lunchtime and into the early afternoon. 93 degrees around 1 p.m. 97 at 3, and then there's that forecast high topping off right around 98 for us here in the Alamo City. I think west of I-35 specifically, we could see a few triple digits already out there in area backyards tomorrow. 101 in Utopia, stretching over to Sabinal. 100 the forecast high tomorrow in Bandera. Looking ahead to the weekend, there's that triple digit mark for us here in San Antonio. Keep in mind, we're still going to be dealing with the humidity, so feels like temperatures could very well climb into the 105 to 110 degree range. That can be dangerous for those that are not taking it easy out there in the heat. So something to keep in mind. We'll also be watching for that isolated chance to find a few showers or storms, especially later in the day on Sunday, better favoring the hill country and areas north of San Antonio. Then after that, just hot and dry all the way through next week.
So Debbie is the next name.
Debbie is the next name.
And if it's a small storm, it could be a little Debbie.
There you go.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
What can I say? The Buzz is up next.
Jimmy Carter is getting a star-studded centennial birthday party. Carter is the oldest living American president, and he'll turn 100 on October 1st. The Carter Center says it will host a birthday bash at Atlanta's historic Fox Theater on September 17th.
Musical acts include country artist Eric Church, the Drive-By Truckers, Allman Brothers Band member Chuck Lavelle, and Maren Morris. Tickets are $100 in honor of Carter's 100th birthday. They go on sale August 5th. Proceeds from the event will support the Carter Center.
A pretty typical August day expected for our Friday, a high around 98, feeling closer to 105 to 106 because of the humidity, plenty of afternoon sunshine as well, and less of a haze as that Saharan dust continues to move out for the most part. Still hot this weekend into next week, monitoring that isolated chance to rain this weekend.
Thanks, Mia, and thanks for watching the news at 6.
See you back here on the Night Beat at 10.